Welcome guys for this yet another video series in reciprocating compressor. In today's video we discuss about a numerical, and now we take one numerical or one problem from reciprocating compressor and try to solve by the concept which we have discussed so far. For today's discussion we have taken this problem as the example. It is very simple to solve if you know the procedure clearly, and it is one of the typical problem which we can solve. If we could able to solve this, we can solve any problem with respect to the compressor, particularly reciprocating compressor. The problem for today's discussion is a reciprocating compressor, a cylinder with 24 centimeter bore and 36 centimeter stroke. D and L they have given. Compressor admits air at 1 bar and 17 degrees centigrade. That initial pressure and temperature they have given, and it compresses it up to 6 bar, and the compressor runs this revolution per minute rpm. N is given as 120 rpm, and considering the compressor to be single acting and single stage, that means this is a single stage and single acting compressor, and they ask us to determine the mean effective pressure and the horsepower required to run compressor when it compresses the following the isothermal process as well as the polytropic process with the polytropic index of 1.3. N is equal to 1.3 here. Also they ask us to find the isothermal efficiency when compression is a polytropic and adiabatic type. So this is a problem, and I hope you can all understand, visualize what are the term in this. So they are given D, L, P1, T1 and compressor ratio, compresses P2 by P1 as 6 they are given, and N is 120 rpm, and polytropic index they ask us to assume as 1.3. With this given data we can directly jump into this. The compression ratio is P2 by P1, that is given 6, and the cylinder dimension, the stroke volume are pi by 4 D squared L, and D and L is given in the problem, and replace that value here and you will get the stroke volume as 0.01628 meter cube, and the volume of air compressed per minute is equal to for 120 rpm, and then we multiply it by N, we will get 1.954 meter cube per minute. And we will neglect, or we assume that clearance volume or clearance volume as 0, or let us neglect clearance volume to make it very simple. Okay, if it is clear, if the clearance volume is negligible, then V1 is equal to the total volume of the cylinder. There is no clearance volume here. V1 is equal to the swept volume as well as the total volume. The work done of the isothermal process is expressed as P1 V1 into ln of P2 by P1, or ln of R, the compressor ratio. And the mean effective pressure, we know that it is a ratio between the work done to the swept volume. 1 second guys, I will charge it now. Kindly bear for the inconvenience causes this. Let us continue this. Mean effective pressure general definition is the ratio between work done to the swept volume, and since we are neglecting the clearance volume, that swept volume is equal to the total volume V1. So P1 V1 divided by V1 into ln of R, and V1 get cancelled, remaining will be the P1 into ln of P2 by P1. That overall value will be 179.18 kilopascal is the mean effective pressure for isothermal process. And let us consider for polytropic process the same procedure, and for polytropic process we know that the work done will be equal to N divided by N minus 1 into P1 V1 multiplied by P2 by P1 to the power N minus 1 divided by N minus 1, and replace all the value, all the given value here, and moreover we need to calculate the mean effective pressure of this particular condition, and mean effective pressure definition says that work done divided by swept volume is the definition for mean effective pressure, or in general, or in simple, or in mathematical relation, it is W polytropic divided by V1, and replace this, and V1 get cancelled, and the final term will be like this: N divided by N minus 1 into P1 whole multiplied by P2 by P1 to the power N minus 1 divided by N minus 1, and substitute all the value given in the problem, and we get mean effective pressure per polytropic process as 221.89 kilopascal. And let us calculate work done for the adiabatic process, and we know that for adiabatic process the relation is gamma divided by gamma minus 1 into P1 V1 multiplied by P2 by P1 to the power gamma minus 1 divided by gamma minus 1, and we know that mean effective pressure definition is W adiabatic to the swept volume, here V1, and replace this and remove V1 value and substitute all the given value, we get the value as 233.98 kilopascal as mean effective pressure for adiabatic process. Now let us calculate how the horsepower for each process is being calculated. Horsepower is 1 horsepower is nothing but 0.7457 kilowatt. It is general, and if from this we can come to know that HP is nothing but mean effective pressure multiplied by volume per minute divided by 0.7457 into 60. Substitute all the value, we will get horsepower required to drive the compressor for isothermal process is 7.825 HP. And the same way we can also calculate for polytropic process, and that HP value is equal to 9.69 HP, and for adiabatic it is equal to 10.22 horsepower. And now we will calculate isothermal efficiency. Isothermal efficiency is nothing but the ratio between isothermal process or the power required for the isothermal process to the actual power required. And now we know that these two value already we have calculated, and replace that value by the calculated value, we will get 80.75% as isothermal efficiency. Same way we can also calculate isothermal efficiency of our adiabatic process, and we get that as 76.57. So we can write down all the calculated value in separate table form, which gives the final answer for the particular problem. This is the final output. The mean effective pressure is 179.18 kilopascal for isothermal, 221.89 kilopascal for polytropic process, and the horsepower required is for 7.825 HP for isothermal and 9.69 HP for polytropic, and isothermal efficiency is 80.75% for polytropic and 76.57% for adiabatic process. That's all guys, it's very simple. Now you practice, if you practice it will be easy for you to understand, and there is nothing to confuse here. If you follow the step by step procedure which we have discussed in the earlier stage, it is easy for you to solve any problem with respect to reciprocating compression. With this I close this session, and we will meet next. Till then, bye bye, take care and be safe.